Appreciate you for tuning in to the Theory Expo. If you enjoy the content we're doing, please like and subscribe. And on that note, let's get to it. We about to early get into it. Something I just heard.
Yes, sir.
Something I just heard before you get started. I just heard there's a rumor right now. D told me 23 that Henry Cavill gonna be Dr. Doom. Think of now this might be super BS, right? It might not
don't talk about call me off guard. Nah, I did not hear that. I didn't even read that.
Just heard that.
Damn.
Now that might be super, but it made me think like that was one of the things they were saying that when they were saying he was supposed to show up at Comic-Con, that it might not have been for DC. Now this might be super BS. It might not even be close to being a thing.
Okay, so you know where smoke there's fire, right? Thanks. So I've heard the first name I heard come up Cav in terms of a character he can be playing, Captain Britain, right?
I heard that one.
I heard the Captain Britain.
Another one, right?
Hyperion, which is Superman.
Marvel. Be like a Thunderbolt Superman, not really Thunderbolt. You
know what
I'm saying? Like
really. Facts. Yeah. And now we hearing wow. Here's my thoughts right off the bat. One, I wouldn't blame because we know he hasn't gotten the best treatment, right? He hasn't gotten the best treatment from Warner Bros. So man, that'll be a major. Can you imagine, bro? If he go over there, he Dr. Doom, bro. That's a huge role. First of all,
Go ahead.
Nah. If he was to do that, bro, if he was to take the doctor, first he'd be such an important and he ain't a throwaway villain. This is a guy who's gonna be there for a minute. He gonna have his own movie, if not just the Final Fantasy IV, Fantastic Four movie. The game's already Fantastic Four movie. He's gonna be a part of overarching like whatever event they got going on. He's
Secret Wars.
He's not dying. He's not going anywhere anytime soon.
You make a good point. He can have his own movie.
He can have his own movie, origin story, whatever you want to do. We know Henry Cavill act. We know he got a certain gravitas and presence about himself. Henry Cavill will be great, Doctor. And he might pull something out that we ain't even seen before, bro. He might come out with that, bro. This dude is a classically trained actor, man. And he was just playing Superman. There's only so much you're supposed to bring to the Superman role. It ain't like you got to switch up the way you talk. Yeah, he just did an American. Superman is an American guy from Kansas. Like it don't demand too much in terms of like nuance, right? So we might be seeing something that we've never seen from Henry Cavill. Something he might pull. We saw Witcher. Shit, look at Witcher and compare that to Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Those two.
Or even the guy that he did when he was in Mission Impossible.
Straight. We know he could be a villain. He was a great villain in that, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
Great villain. So it's like, if he could, what that would mean in turn, like, man, that you want to talk about another L for DC? You want to talk about another L for Warner Brothers, man? If you lose your Superman and your Superman becomes Dr. Doom and he kill it, because
when I heard that, I was like, he probably gotta be like it probably 9 times out of 10 ain't gonna be the case.
It's probably not about. I'm gonna just pull up the article.
But like that's like I gotta see if I can because I was watching the cast, so I want to give them their credit. I gotta pull it up with what I was watching. I was like, hey, man, it's been like because they keep saying that. Now that's the thing that I've been seeing, like Henry Cavill.
This should go back to April.
Kind of like expect him to be presented in some way, shape, or form in the movie sometime today. This being D23 Saturday.
If he do that,
I'm disappointed if he show up as like if he Captain Britain or Hyperion or something like that. Like you run down all people that they be like, yo, hey, who could be this or who could be that in terms of like, they doing a lot with the Professor X, you're doing a lot with it's like cool. Yes, it's multiple people I can see be that, multiple people I can see be Sue Storm, Reed Richards. Like it's multiple people. But you give me Henry Cavill Doom, and I'm like, okay, I'm with that already. I'm cool with that now. Let's do that. Let's do that. Like what's your other option if it is not Henry?
You almost creating a situation now. You almost creating an event now, like where it's like because it's like and then you can't blame him. Like you can't. It's not. It wouldn't even be like out of the realm, right? Because a possibility. Because it's like, man, they don't get it on him as Superman. He's not like they don't claim him as Superman. They've had ample opportunity to reinforce that this man is Superman. You took a whole Shazam cutscene and cut him out of it. They just used Superman. It's clearly his suit.
It had to wait.
Yeah, it's his suit, but they like so it's like, man,
Peacemaker did it.
Yeah. Same thing.
Peacemaker
Just a
did it.
shadow, just his silhouette.
They
At that
also
point.
did that with Gal too, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
Like,
that's weird.
is
And
it-
they probably just
is
couldn't
they
get
couldn't,
her.
yeah, she probably couldn't show up, but is she not Wonder Woman no more? But that's a whole nother conversation. And DC don't got their shit together. Like
They just really don't. No.
They don't even seem today even like, okay, my man cut. Yeah, he cut some price of movies that were going to be terrible. Cut some shows that probably were going to be terrible. I get that. It was like we were having our off the record conversation about people cutting, trimming the fat all over the place. Well, no matter what you're doing for your career, whatever job you have, they trimming the fat. So some of the places in entertainment, they need to trim the fat, and he had to come in and do that. That's easy. It ain't like they got it. Like they got it. They just tried to get. He's like, nah, I'm cool. The one you see that with the new DC guy, he's like, I don't even want to do it. Cool. I think they were trying to give him to give up.
Lynn.
Yeah, they told him, he was like, but I think he already got his production company, and supposedly like, it's probably more money. They probably didn't want to cut that check for him not to. But at the end of the day, beyond without having all my notes together, Dan Lin. But ultimately, they don't have their stuff together, and that seemed like an easy one when Henry, like, yo, he's Superman. Just make a good Superman movie, or make a good this, or make it. Y'all did the death of Superman way too early, right? Way too early in your process. For all the things you want to say about the Snyderverse, y'all went way too early with the death of Superman, right? But with that being said, on another side of that, Doom not a step down from a movie standpoint. No. Playing Doom is not a step down from playing Superman. In some regards, you could say like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, might be a step up.
Might be a step up, bro. Because Doom is like, I think it's, if we being honest, I think it's Kang and then Doom next.
No, in levels or just time?
Not. I'm not gonna say. Okay, I'm not gonna say in terms of levels, in terms of like importance to MCU, like a villain, MCU villain. But what I'm gonna say is, I think he's gonna be like a final boss in a movie. You know what I mean? Like
Doom should get the Thanos.
Treatment.
He should get Thanos. Like, he gotta win. He gotta win him. Like, I don't even want to end it. Like, if we going straight to only Doom in the Secret Wars, I'm salty. Like,
I'm salty. Yeah, I'm like,
y'all gotta win one.
Yeah, Doom gotta get one.
He gotta get his own Infinity.
Doom gotta make an appearance in Fantastic Four, but not be the final villain in the first Fantastic Four movie. He can't be the villain in Fantastic Four. He needs to make an appearance. Like I'm here. I'm in this universe. I'll be here for part 2 and part 3, and I'm probably gonna be the final guy y'all meet like by the third movie. But he doesn't need to be the main guy. The main guy gotta be somebody else, and he need to be a presence in the MCU. Like, I'm here, man. Hey, look, I'm on everything, man. I'm with the shits. You know what I mean? I'm seeing that. I'm looking at everything. Like, whatever y'all do, I see it. Whether that's the TV shows or the movie. But what the point I'm making is, like, it's not. I don't think he got to be a little bit more than Ultron.
Yeah.
If he not Thanos, fine. Okay, I get it. Whatever. Like, I can see him not being the big bad, but he got to be more than, bro. He got to get more. He got to be like around. He got to be. I'm trying to think. Who else? Who can we compare him to right now?
Oh, want to do a villain ranking, or maybe a Marvel villain ranking, right? So they kind of got it differently because now we have the cinematic aspect to it. We got the who's ranking higher MCU versus maybe like the entire Marvel pantheon.
Right.
Honestly, man, I'm hyped right now. So take it with a grain of salt. I feel like Doom got to be number one, even in Marvel.
You're right. That's why I was stumped. I can't think of anybody.
He gotta be number
who better.
One.
Who higher than Doom?
It would be Doom.
He gotta play a big part in the Secret Wars. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think it's Doom, Ultron, right? Maybe Doom, Thanos. But like, let's just say all together. We got the MCU, right? But let's say like you throw in comics, cartoons, everything that you want to put into it. I feel like if you do that, it's Doom. Joker's number one up.
Yeah, are you talking about like everybody?
Yeah, Joker.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's just
all villains.
No. I'm just saying Marvel, but let's just put that out there for the people in the back. Joker's number one, but we talking about Marvel. I think you got to go Doom, and then the question is it Ultron? I feel like Ultron's too, realistically, but he could not be. Maybe I'm. Oh, is it Magneto? But then you got to think like what you really feel about Magneto. No, like he may be more anti-hero than.
I got him too. Yeah, exactly. He's never gonna be Magneto's never gonna be the big bad, right? No. Magneto focuses on the X-Men. Doom is like, hey, bro, I'm trying to take over the world. I feel like I got the best. Magneto's like, I feel like I got the best plan. Doom is like, hey man, I got it figured out. I need to be as powerful as I can be so I can save. So Doom number one, I would say, yeah, Ultron, because Ultron got kind of like a similar mission, right? Hey, man, Ultron trying to save the world, man.
Yeah.
He's just doing it. I got to destroy humanity in the Avengers.
Yeah.
And, again, Thanos died and he had a lot. Well, because in a way, I feel like Ultron could always kind of come back, but that's another story. And he kind of already back in What If, but that's another story.
And he was kind of back at Keep It a Buck. He might be kind of back.
His legacy lives on, right?
Yeah.
White. We're gonna talk about a villain, boy. They can use. Woo, he's still out. He ain't make no wind out here. Wow, Light Vision didn't show up. He's just out there. But yeah, you're right. No, I'm with you.
I think the totality got to be. I mean, Thanos is hardest because Thanos was such a great MCU thing.
Yeah.
But when you put everything in, like when you add everything in, right? Comics, cartoons, like it's different levels then, right? Like the Infinity Saga is such a thing, and they made a whole thing called the Infinity Saga.
Yeah,
I don't think no one's above. Yeah, that was him, and they built the most successful franchise in history around that, right? Right. So like, yeah, so he might get the crown by default because of that. Like it's hard to really top that level of success. But if you like kind of take a step back, I feel like if you really imagine if that was Doom. They could have done the same thing, a different kind of story, but like that same level of success, but it be Doom right. So I just think Doom's number. Like I say, maybe I'm biased. I think Doom got to be one. So like there's you can't have them at the end with just a movie where that's it, right? Like they like Ultron. Ultron should have never been defeated like that. Like in one movie. He should have had an arc.
God, this shit to Ultron, bro.
He should have had an arc.
That should have been a 1 and a 2. I think it was because but it do make sense because they were trying to. It's like, all right, man, this is the second Avengers movie, right? Like,
yeah,
we gotta bring out the biggest gun we possibly can without revealing the end game Thanos. So it's
Thanos was still sitting.
But yeah, you're right. Realistically, he should have had his own 1 and 2. It should have been Age of Ultron Part 1, then Age of Ultron Part 2.
Okay.
He should have got that shit. They didn't do that. Just stuffed it all in one movie. Again, a movie that we've talked about before that's gotten better with age. But I agree.
And it definitely aged well.
It's aged very well, it's kind of the thought when we look back on it, that's really the movie that count in terms of the Infinity Stone, like the Infinity Saga. Like that's really the first Avengers. The first one was more like it was cool, but that you can just almost call that Avengers Assemble. The other movies is like, nah, that's the Infinity.
Yeah, Avengers Assemble, along with all the other movies that came up until Avengers Assemble. Hey man, I would say up until Thor, we're all about Thor Dark World. We're about the Avengers Assembled side. That's a great way to put it. Everything since Thor Dark World is the Infinity side. Even Iron Man 3.
You just took that out of my
bad.
No, that was my next question. No, that was my question. I was gonna say, is Iron Man 3 in that? You're right.
Iron Man 3 is like how
that's an Avengers Assemble movie.
It's like how that what's the name of the Homecoming. Far From Home, even though it came after Endgame, it was really still part of the Infinity Saga, right?
That was the cap, right? Like that was the cap that was basically the end of that Avengers, or whatever that saga was.
Yeah,
because he was like, all right,
he was still dealing with the death of Tony.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about I'm going back to Iron Man 3. Right?
That's how Iron Man 3 was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he was like, I saved New York.
PTSD.
I put the bomb up. I destroyed all them people. I threw the bomb until I came out of the portal. Man, I got PTSD. And it was like, and he was still dealing with like these suits and stuff.
Yeah.
So for him to finally face that and be like, yeah, that was the end of that version of Tony. He evolved after.
The weird thing is where does I think it's still the best MC. I still got his number one as the best MCU movie. What is the Falcon, the Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier? Because the thing that they did. I watched something and they pointed out, which was really genius about that, is what that movie started because it was the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. And them breaking up is what allowed it to get to what Civil War happened. Civil War don't happen if S.H.I.E.L.D. is there. Right. Without S.H.I.E.L.D., you get Civil War. And without Civil War, they're not ready, nor they probably would be, but that's just for the sake of argument. They're not ready for when the Black Order came through and Infinity, right? Like the Winter Soldier, they were saying changed the because of the fact of like what happened. Like I say, fall of S.H.I.E.L.D., that whole thing, especially just that part that they didn't have that and allowed the MCU to usher into what they came into with the Infinity. So sometimes it may look like an outlier because it's not really an Infinity Saga kind of movie, but it definitely don't got nothing to do with. It's not like an Avengers Assemble as well. Right, to me, but maybe it is like kind of the last Avengers Assembled movie. I like calling that. That was the Avengers Assembled saga, And maybe the Winter Soldier movie is really still an Avengers assembled saga kind of. Dark World is definitely Infinity.
Yeah, Dark World is Infinity Saga, bro.
You wouldn't even know if he was an Avenger from that movie, to be quite honest.
He don't mention him. He don't,
he
come to Earth. He don't try to contact him. He just like, hey, I need to get this.
You don't even know. But it was the Infinity Saga. That was like, I felt like that was first, but maybe Winter Soldier is its own thing. But like, which one is it? Does it fall in the latter or the one form?
Man, you might be right. You introduced that. I think that's that you can look at that as a symbol because it's like, they lose. Yeah, it's just it's a dissolution of Shield, and Shield was a big part in that first Avengers. Shield is
an Avengers. It's an Avengers symbol movie.
Yeah, they put together the initiative, right?
Yeah,
so maybe that's the true end of Avengers.
They didn't even set up the Lemurian Star, but that started because of what happened. The building of the Lemurian Star was like the World Security Council. They was ready and all that stuff that was happening after the attack on New York and them getting the retro reflective panels on the damn helicarriers and all that. That was because of what happened earlier. Because we never, that was the end of the symbol. So that's a good point. But
Shield came to an end. That Avengers had to make a decision after that. Like, hey, responsibility. We can't operate off Shield and trust them. Oh, Shield is gone. It was gone at that point.
Yeah,
so
that was it.
We still got an obligation to be the Avengers.
Hell, my theory. That's when Skrulls start taking it. So like it really did end and ushered in the new MCU. Like at the end of that movie is the beginning of the next phase of the MCU.